Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It is Oluwashefumi here again, and today I am sharing a very important topic, and this has to do with packing the right item for your baby in your hospital bag. Let me tell you why this is important. This is important because you can't wait to meet your baby, right? And you don't want to be in that space where you forgot something that is important to your baby. You really would not like to be in that space. So make sure you watch this video till the end because it has everything that you need to pack in your bag. Now let's get started. My number one on this list is you definitely want to pack the basics for the baby, which is clothing. I would say clothing. Very important, right? You'd agree with me. And the first on this list would be you want to pack onesies. Yes, you want to pack onesies. You want to pack the short-sleeved ones and the long-sleeved ones. These are very important because this is an essential item that your baby will wear at the hospital. And the number two thing for clothing would be you need to pack hats for your baby. Something to cover their head for warmth. This is also very important and very necessary. Another thing is you need to pack socks for your baby or booties because they're still so fragile, right? They're very fragile and you want them as covered as much as they can be because you don't want them getting cold for no reason. You just want to make sure they have the right temperature. So you want to pack your onesies, you want to have your hats, you want to have your socks, you also want to have your swaddle and also maybe a blanket, anyone you choose, a swaddle or a blanket. A swaddle is important because it helps them sleep better. In most cases, I wouldn't say in all cases because I don't want to believe it's all babies that like swaddles, but yeah, a swaddle you would need to get or a blanket to, wrap your baby. I feel like swaddles help them sleep a lot better. And also for the hat, the hospital that I gave birth, they actually did provide us an hat, rather. They provided us a hat. At the hospital, they gave me like a few options to pick from. Which one would you like for your baby? And I chose, oh yeah, the pink one. So yes. So for the basics for the baby, which are the clothings, you need, just to recap, your clothing, you need your onesie, you need your hat, you need your socks, you need your swaddle or blankets as well, or a sleep sack, whichever is been recommended for you. Now let's go to my number two on this list, which is your diapering essentials. Your diapering essentials. For this one, it's straight to the point. What you need is diapers and wipes. Basically, that is what you need for this, diapers and wipes. For diapers, I would always recommend you go with a newborn size or a size 1. In most cases, I would say a newborn size and also a size 1 because you must have been tracking your pregnancy and you have an idea of what your baby weight is. So if you feel like you are going to be having like a big baby, a chubby baby, then definitely you want to go with a size 1. But the hospital that I gave, but they did provide us a newborn size. And I went with the size 1 thinking, oh yeah, but my baby came out a little bit small and the size 1 ended up being too big. But, because we were provided with the newborn size, that was, that's totally helped us. And we just had to get like a few more packs when we were discharged from the hospital, and wipes as well. They're making little poops and little pees here and there. You want to clean them up, right? And you also might want to consider getting wipes that are suitable for sensitive skin as well. Now to my number 3. The third one on this list is your feeding supplies. Your feeding supplies. This also cannot be overemphasized because this is also a very necessary item in your hospital bag. And this is based off of if you plan on doing exclusive with your baby, that's feeding your baby exclusively for 6 months, just breast milk. Or if you plan on doing the combination feeding, that's you want to mix formula and also breastfeed your baby. Or you want to, be exclusive on formula, right? But regardless of, whatever category it is that you fall in, your feeding supplies are also very necessary when you're packing your hospital bag for your baby. So for the bottles, yes, you need to find out which one you think would suit your baby or which one you think is best for your baby. I know, some bottles have different features. Some have anti-colic, some, they have different teeth. So you want to, do your research, find out which one it is that you feel is most suitable for your baby and will not cause, any kind of complications or, maybe a bottle that actually fits your budget. So yes, you want to get something within that range for the bottles and also for the formula if you plan on giving your baby formula, you want to be prepared for that. You know, take some quantity to the hospital as well. I believe if you're planning on being exclusive with your baby, I mean exclusive breastfeeding, then you need to have started prepping your breast as well. You need to get your nipple cream. Some would say is nipple or are nipple creams safe? Well, from my research and from what I have, gathered over the years, I believe they are actually safe for your baby to latch on. So yes, you want to get your feeding supplies, your formula, your bottles, nipple cream, and just anything within that capacity. My number 4 on this list is what I would term health and safety. And for this, I would say if you plan on giving your baby a pacifier, you want to shop for different options. We do have a lot of options. So you want to see what is suitable for the age of your baby and go for that. That is if you plan on giving your baby a pacifier. I know not everybody would want to give their baby a pacifier, and that is absolutely fine. I mean, whatever it is that you feel is best for your baby is definitely what you should be doing, right? And the other one would be you need to go with a baby nail clipper. I really cannot overemphasize how important this is, because you'll be surprised how long and sharp newborn nails are. They are so sharp and they're really long sometimes. And, you just don't want your baby trying to get a hold of you, trying to grab you and just scratch you with your nails. And it's not even about you at the end of the day. It's about them hurting themselves with their long nails and sharp nails. So you want to have a nail clipper to, shorten that for them so they don't end up hurting themselves. If you feel more comfortable using the manual clipper, that's totally fine. I went with the electric nail clipper and that works perfectly for my baby. So yeah, you want to shop for that as well. You want to put that in your hospital bag. And what I also think is really important would be you want to go to the hospital with your insurance, or if you have a birth plan. So if you have an idea of how it is you want your baby to be treated when they're born, I know some people would say, I don't want my baby given some vitamins. I don't want some tests done on my baby. So if you do have a plan for your baby after birth and you want the hospital or, wherever it is that you are giving birth to follow that plan, you want to take that along, let them know, oh yes, this is what I have. This is my birth plan. And you want them to follow through with it. And another thing that I would say is also important on this list is you want to go to the hospital with your baby's government name. Yes. Especially if you're giving birth in a country like Canada, where you have to provide the name of your baby before you leave the hospital for registration's sake, then you need to go to the hospital prepared on what it is you want to name your baby. You don't want to be at that point and you're like thinking, what are we going to call this baby? You don't want to be in that fix. So you definitely want to go prepared with what your baby name is. I mean, you add 9 months to think of a name. So, I mean, it's not going to be at the point where you're leaving the hospital and you're being asked to register your baby. You're now thinking, oh, what are we going to name this baby? No. So you definitely, I think it's really important that you also go prepared, because, you might have to fill out some registration in your baby's name and you want to be able to provide the right and accurate name for your baby. And also a name that you feel fits the trajectory of the life of your baby. You just don't want to call out a name and, in the long run, you regret naming your child that, or your child regrets being named that. So you definitely want to also go prepared with your baby's government name. So I'm just going to run over this really quick for the things that, in my opinion, are the essentials for your hospital bag for your baby. The number 1 thing we said is the clothing items, where we have your onesies, the long sleeves, the short sleeves. We have your heart, we have your swaddle, your blankets, your sleep sack, whatever it is. And that, whatever it is that falls in that category for you for clothing, you want to pack that. The number 2 thing is your diapering essentials. That's your diapers and your wipes, right? And the number 3 thing we said is your feeding supplies, which is your bottle, your nipple cream, your formula, whatever it is that falls also in that category for you. The number 4 thing we said is your health and safety, which is the baby pacifier, if you would like to provide or give your baby that. And also what we said is your baby's nail clippers, right? And the would that be the 5th or the 6th thing now? What we said is also very important is going prepared with your baby's government name to the hospital. And also if you have an insurance plan that you want to use, or a birth plan that you want to, let the hospital follow, or like guidelines that you have to guide your birth that you want them to follow. So you also want to go, with that. Now, Let me know what it is that is helpful for you in this video. I want you to put it in the comments what you found helpful. I also want to encourage you to customize your bag. You don't have to follow this this list to a letter, but at least, you know, it guides you to know exactly what it is you need to pack into your hospital bag. And let me know if you found this video helpful. Let me know if there was something that you feel you didn't think about should be on the list that is on the list, and, you know, has also opened your eyes to what is important. Just put that in the comments. I'm going to read through. I'm going to reply when I see them. And I also want to encourage you to like, to share, to subscribe for more tips. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.